Good afternoon, folks. Aaron Dorr here with Iowa Gun Owners. Guys, we talked about this just the other day. We were seeing some things and seeing some nervous, desperate politicians. I told you that I had a feeling we might be getting to where we've been trying to get for a long time, guys. Huge news to talk about today on constitutional carry law for Iowa. Come on in this video, get signed in, let me know where you're watching from. As you can see, I'm in IGO's mobile command post today, so we're going to have a watch party started by somebody else. And guys, I'm just leaving the Capitol in Washington, D.C. I had some meetings today with some of Congress's best pro-gun forces on behalf of the American Firearms Association. Had a meeting with Iowa's Randy Feenstra. More about that here in a little bit. So good news here in D.C., but huge news in Des Moines. So we're going to break that down, guys. We're getting the watch party going right now. Then we're going to begin this broadcast. I see Jennifer's on. I see Jeremy. I see Tony. A lot of folks are getting signed in. So, guys, the big news. Did I say Nathan? No, that's the wrong Nathan. That's the good Nathan, not the bad Nathan. Good to see you, Nathan. The good news, guys, the huge news is that after years of telling gun owners to sit down and shut up when it comes to constitutional carry, earlier today, House Republicans unveiled a omnibus gun bill. Omnibus bill, it's got 4, 5, 6 different things in it at least. And as I said, I've been in Washington, D.C. on Capitol Hill all day and haven't had a chance to read every part of this bill. But the chassis, the framework, the bulk of this is constitutional freaking carry for Iowa. And this bill was unveiled by House leadership earlier today. It's not House File 250, but they have word for word, I believe it's word for word, House File 250 inside of House Study Bill 254, constitutional carry for Iowa. Guys, this is a huge accomplishment, and the credit to this, and of course, we're not done, and this fight's just getting going. We're nowhere near done. But the fact that we have House Republican leadership finally doing what you have told them to do, that credit lies with the ferocious members of Iowa gun owners who have been beating on the Capitol for years, and especially the last 2 weeks, demanding action on constitutional carry law. I cannot thank you enough, guys, for all of your support just this session, not to mention for the last 13 years as we've been beating on the politicians in Des Moines, to advance this. One of the things that makes, I think, them, you guys probably can't even see Chris in the car. I got Chris here, who helps, who's always working behind the scenes with Iowa gun owners. But we were talking a little bit ago, there gets to be a point when all these states are moving this bill. Just in the last 10 days, Utah passed it. You got Montana that passed it. The House in Indiana passed it. And the Tennessee has committee action on constitutional carry. I believe it's today as well. And so at a certain point, even the hyper moderates in Des Moines at a certain point cannot hide any longer and say this is too extreme, or now is not the time, or we don't have a big enough majority. You guys have sent a message, and you continue to send a message every 2 years at election time. You guys destroyed Joe Biden's candidacy here in Iowa last fall, destroyed Michael Bloomberg's attempt to flip the chambers here in Iowa last fall. You guys took Abby Finkenauer out of Congress and made sure that Teresa Greenfield and J.D. Scholten and Rita Hart did not get into Washington, D.C. in the first place. So the reason why gun bills are moving, it's not because of the goodwill of the politicians in Des Moines. It's because you guys are thundering your opposition to gun control, and more than that, you're demanding action on constitutional carry. The fact that 7, the number is changing by the day.
This would be 19.
Well, Iowa would be 19. The fact that 18 red states and some blue states, Vermont's no red state. Yeah. The fact that gun owners in 18 states don't have to beg permission, don't have to ask the government for permission, don't have to put their name in a database or pay fees to carry a firearm, and that we do, that Iowans do, is insufferable.
Does this thing move?
There we go.
Guys, I just got to break in. You guys hardly ever see from me
anymore. This is Chris Dorr. For those who don't know, my brother.
Yeah. This is huge. huge news for gun owners. You guys have been working your asses off for over a decade. And right now, we're finally getting to the edge of the precipice here to go over into freedom. I mean, I'm sitting here listening to all this. I'm like, oh, this is good. This is good. Oh my goodness. This is like a huge, huge turn of events. Gun owners in Iowa have been treated so unfairly. Now, maybe a little bit more fairly than in some other states, but in comparison to the massive Republican majorities,
absolutely,
gun owners in Iowa have been treated like redheaded stepchildren and told to sit down, shut up, get to the back of the bus, slap you across the face. They farm you for your votes election season after election season, but now finally, because of all the hard work that you guys have done, we're finally sitting here talking about the very real possibility of passing what we've all worked so hard to pass for the last 13 years. I can't, as one of the people who started out with Iowa gun owners in the very beginning, I helped write some of this legislation back in the day for all of our old bill sponsors who did the tough work on this stuff. I am so proud to be an Iowan by birth. I may not live there anymore, but I'm so proud to be a part of this operation and this push. And you guys should be so dadgum proud of maneuvering the entire General Assembly into position right now. Reach around behind yourselves. Give yourselves a big pat on the back, because this is all you, baby. And you should be dang proud of yourselves for what you're doing. Woo!
Huge, guys, but now is not any time. The sun's right in our faces right behind us. But now is no time.
It's an angelic glow. That's what it is. We're a bunch of big, mean, vicious angels versus the Second Amendment.
But this becomes to be a very not difficult, but dangerous time right now.
Yes.
Because look, we were here before, right? 2017, Stand Your Ground law was the bill you guys hammered into law in Iowa, and they wrapped a whole bunch of stuff, including constitutional carry, around that omnibus bill. And the first thing that House leaders removed from that bill when House Democrats cried foul, the first thing that when the media screamed about it, that was the casualty of that engagement, was constitutional carry. So this is no time to sit back and assume that we're done. We have got to thunder now all the way to the finish line. That's why we have a pre-written email campaign. It's in on your screen right now.
Click it.
As you guys know, all the work is done for you. Just punch in your address. It pulls up your politician's name, goes right to his or her inbox. You don't have to find an email address. You don't have to figure out what to say. Just hit the button. It'll go right to their box. And the message here is really simple. We don't want to hear how pro-gun you are. We want to see how pro-gun you are. You've been telling us for years that this is an easy thing to pass in Iowa, and for year after year after year, Iowans get left behind. And we want to see the fulfillment, the end of the constitutional carry fight. It's high time. This may be one of the only benefits, not a benefit, I hate to even say that. When Joe Biden's in the White House, all of a sudden, the Republicans in state legislatures,
who knew?
All of a sudden, they find their guts.
Their chutzpah.
They find their guts.
Their ball.
And it's happening in states across the country, and it's happening now in Iowa, in part because of that, and in part in the majority share because you guys have never stopped putting pressure on these politicians. And again, now is not the time to start doing that. So, we're in a good spot. We're hearing great things from multitude of sources.
Yeah.
On
Let's put it this way. The Iowa Capitol right now is a leaking sieve of information.
Yes.
And a lot of these people have been working behind the scenes for years trying to get this bill to move. And finally, there's some good word coming out. So I apologize if I got a little bit too excited a minute ago. This fight is not over. Like Aaron said a minute ago, you need to hammer down now because the temptation will be there. When the left starts their work, when the Cedar Rapids Gazette, when the Des Moines Register, when all the fake news media now starts to pile on top of this bill, with the Bloomberg gun control organizations, they are going to hammer on these people and hammer on them, try to box them into a corner like they always do, like we've seen in so many states now.
Oh, yeah.
They will try to make these Republicans bend to their will. Some of them are quislings. Some of them are very, very weak.
Well, it's more than that. It's hard to overstate the propensity for betrayal that exists at this juncture right now.
Yes,
because what's going to happen is they're going to get their day in the sun today, tomorrow, next week, as this bill moves through subcommittee, moves through committee, and there's going to be a lot of good press they're going to already earn whether they pass it or not. So cannot back down, cannot trust anybody's good intentions. This fight is not over until Governor signs the bill and passes it into law. That is when this fight is over, and not a minute before that. So you guys, hammer away at this. Hammer away at this. That's why we have this campaign set up for you. It's an automated process, and it takes seconds. So after you've done that, though, do me a favor and send that link out on your own social media platforms and tell your friends, tell fellow gun owners, friends from church, from work, on the shooting range, that they have to get involved as well. You know, because of the members of Iowa Gun Owners, we've had it so good in Iowa when it comes to safeguarding our rights. There's a lot of gun owners, and you guys know what I'm talking about, they're not directly involved in the fight to expand and defend our gun rights here in Iowa, and now is no time for that. So with Biden in the White House, there's no time for, you know, trusting that for just having hopes and dreams and hoping things are going to work. Now is the time to quadruple the pressure. Never let up. So tell your friends, hey, take a moment, send your email, make your voice heard. Tell these politicians you work for us.
Yep. Some of your phones right now might have that little blue share button in the bottom right-hand corner. That's something else you can do real quick is share this video, let everybody else know. And we talk about this, I know when I talk to Ohio Gun Owners members and stuff, we talk about this analogy, but now is the time. If you've been sitting on the sidelines, if you've been up in the bleachers this entire time, now is a great time for you to get down off the court, off the bleachers and down onto the court and start pushing. Share this video, hit those links, join IGO. My goodness, if you're not a member already, please join Iowa Gun Owners.
Absolutely.
But now is the time to let's hammer this home. Let's step on the gas. We're stopped in traffic in DC right now. But now is the time to step on the gas, not for us, but for you and for gun owners all across Iowa. Hit it hard, because we might be able to finally make my home state of Iowa a constitutional carry state, and that would be just lovely.
Absolutely. Guys, we have updates for you tomorrow on this and on our meetings today in Washington, D.C. Like I said, we had a chance to have a good conversation, a meeting with Iowa's 4th Congressional, Randy Feenstra. Randy, of course, longtime ally in the fight for constitutional carry. And we told him today this is happening, and I got to tell you, I almost think he looked a little bit, I don't know if regretful, wistful, but maybe? I mean, he was there on this fight as one of the lead co-sponsors for 12 years.
Yeah.
12 years in the state Senate. And but he was really rooting for Iowans today that we get this thing done, lock this in, and secure these protections while Iowa is as red as it is. So, guys, share the video, send your email, share the link on your own social media platforms. Share it.
I can see it right here on my own phone. You can hit that share button. Go ahead and hit it right now. It's something that you guys can do just to spread the word out as much as you possibly can. So do it. Hit it.
Guys, we'll be in touch tomorrow. You guys have a great day. Share the video far and wide. More to come. And all of this is because of the work of Iowa gun owners. And I'm going to say this too. It's been a long time coming to get where we are today, but I want you to know that the work that you guys have done on this issue has been mimicked, has been copied by other gun organizations all across America, which has caused this tidal wave for constitutional carry to explode now in 18 states, over a third of the country. And think of that, over a third of the country. There's no need to get government permission to add your name to a database, to be tracked like a freaking sex offender, just to have the right to carry a firearm for self-defense. It is high freaking time that Iowa becomes the 19th state in this, and let's keep this fight going. Take action, guys. More to come. Love you all very much. Fire off those emails, and we'll be in touch. Thank you.